The Stoic morning routine that rebuilds your mind. You already know the feeling. The alarm goes off. Before your eyes are even open, your hand finds the phone. Notifications. News. Someone's opinion about something you never asked about. And just like that, the day has already taken you. You are already reactive. Already behind. Already living on someone else's terms, and you haven't even gotten out of bed yet. Here's the thing most people never realize. The first 10 minutes of your morning don't just set the tone for the day. They set the tone for who you are. They shape your identity, your emotional state, your capacity to handle everything that's about to come at you. The ancient Stoics figured this out 2,000 years ago, and we have completely forgotten it. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. These were not monks living in peaceful isolation. Marcus was running an empire under constant military pressure. Epictetus was a former slave who had nothing. Seneca moved in the most dangerous political circles in Rome. They faced pressure, noise, uncertainty, and chaos. And yet they built a morning practice so precise, so psychologically sophisticated, that modern neuroscience is still catching up with it. This video is going to walk you through that practice. Not as a historical curiosity. As something you can start doing tomorrow morning. And trust me, if you stay until the end, the last piece of this routine is the one that ties everything together in a way you won't see coming. But first, if you're new here, this channel exists for one reason. To take ancient Stoic wisdom and make it useful for the life you are actually living right now. If that is what you are looking for, subscribe and hit the bell. We build this community one morning at a time. Now, let's rebuild your mind. The Stoics believed the mind at dawn was a battlefield. Before reason gets a chance to wake up, emotion is already moving. Already anxious. Already scrolling through imaginary problems. Already rehearsing conflict, failure, embarrassment. Epictetus warned his students about this directly. He wrote, in the Enchiridion, first thing in the morning, before you even rise, say to yourself, today I will meet with meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and unsociable people. He wasn't being pessimistic. He was being prepared. Epictetus was a slave who became the most sought-after philosopher in Rome. He understood that you cannot control what Rome throws at you. You cannot control people, traffic, news cycles, your boss, or the algorithm. The only thing you control is your response. And your response is shaped before it's ever tested, in the quiet of the morning, before anything happens. The modern version of this looks like 2 minutes before you touch your phone. Just 2 minutes. In those 2 minutes, you do one thing. You name 3 things that might challenge you today. Not to dread them. To be ready for them. You meet them in imagination before they meet you in reality. That is not anxiety. That is preparation. There is a difference. Here's where it gets counterintuitive. Most modern self-help tells you to start the day with gratitude. And that is not wrong. But the Stoics went deeper. They used a practice called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. And it changes everything about how you experience the day. Seneca wrote in his letters to Lucilius, let us prepare our minds as if we had come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. He sat with the possibility of loss. Not to become morbid, but to become fully awake to what he already had. Think about your morning coffee. Right now, you probably drink it without really tasting it. You're thinking about your inbox. Your commute. The thing your partner said last night. But what if, for 30 seconds, you sat with the thought, this moment might not always be here. This warmth, this quiet, this cup in your hand. That is not darkness. That is the sharpest possible form of gratitude. The practice is this. Before you start your day, take one thing you rely on, one person, one routine, one privilege, and imagine it gone. Not forever. Just as an exercise. Then return to the present. What you feel in that return, that quiet relief, that is what the Stoics call the good life. Do this once. Tomorrow morning. Just once. Marcus Aurelius did not wake up and check what Rome needed from him. He woke up and checked what virtue needed from him. That is a distinction that will reshape how you use your mornings. In Meditations, Book 2, he wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own." He wrote this to himself. Not for publication. Not for posterity. As a private recalibration before facing a world that constantly pushed against his values. Here is the modern parallel. You have values. Patience. Honesty. Consistency. Whatever yours are. But by 10 a.m., the world has already started grinding against them. A difficult email. A passive-aggressive comment. Traffic. A missed deadline. And you react from pressure, not from principle, because you never reminded yourself what you stood for at the start of the day. The practice is one sentence. Written down or spoken aloud. Today, I choose to act with patience, honesty, and focus, regardless of what happens. That is it. One sentence. It takes 11 seconds. And it gives your nervous system an anchor before the storm starts. Marcus wrote his version every morning for years. That is why he could govern an empire without losing himself in it. Epictetus had a phrase that his students never forgot. He said, in the Discourses, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Notice the order. First, the identity. Then, the action. The Stoics were not purely intellectual. They understood that the body and the mind are one system. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, walked. Every morning. He walked through Athens and thought. He taught while walking. Movement was not separate from philosophy. It was the condition for it. You do not need an hour in the gym. You need movement that interrupts the nervous system's default state of low-level threat. A cold shower. A short walk. 5 minutes of bodyweight movement. Something that tells your body, we are no longer asleep. We are no longer in hiding. We are ready. The research supports what Zeno knew by instinct. Morning movement raises cortisol in a healthy way, sharpens focus, and reduces anxiety for hours. But the Stoics would say it simply, you cannot think like a philosopher while your body is still pretending it is in danger. Move first. Think second. The sequence matters. Here is what most people never realize. Silence in the morning is not passive. It is one of the most radical acts you can perform in 2025. Cato the Younger was known across Rome for one thing above all else, the incorruptible clarity of his judgment. And historians noted that he was famously slow to speak. He would sit in silence before responding to anything. Not because he was hesitant. Because he understood that noise corrupts thought, and most of what we call thinking is just reaction. The Stoics called it hegemonikon, the ruling faculty of the mind. The internal governor. And they believed it could only function clearly in the absence of external noise. Seneca wrote, in Letters to Lucilius, retire into yourself as much as you can, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Your phone, your feed, your notifications, they are not neutral. They are designed by some of the most sophisticated engineers alive to hijack your hegemonikon before you have had a chance to use it. The first 20 minutes of your morning, before input, before content, before anyone else's agenda enters the room, those minutes belong to you. They are the foundation of the whole day. The practice is a hard rule. No phone, no news, no podcast for the first 20 minutes after waking. Not 30. Just 20. Protect those 20 minutes like Cato protected his integrity. Absolutely. Non-negotiably. The Stoics were not interested in productivity as we understand it. They were not trying to get more done. They were trying to live well. There is a difference, and it is a difference that modern culture has almost entirely erased. Seneca wrote, near the end of his life, in On the Shortness of Life, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it." He was not talking about efficiency. He was talking about alignment. About spending your hours on things that actually matter to the person you are trying to become. Every morning, before you open your task list, ask yourself one question. One question only. What would a person of good character do with this day? Not a productive person. Not a successful person. A person of good character. Because the Stoics believed that everything else, reputation, achievement, wealth, follows from character, but character does not follow from them. Write the question down. Say it out loud. Then let your day's first decision come from the answer. Just one decision. One small proof that you are living by design, not default. That one question, asked consistently, is more powerful than any productivity system on the market. Every Stoic morning practice ended not with planning, but with commitment. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations Book 5, wrote a line that has outlived every emperor, every empire, and every self-help book ever written. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. Not as an emperor. As a human being. That was his standard. To show up fully, to act with virtue, to meet the day not because the world demanded it, but because his own nature demanded it. The closing piece of your morning routine is a commitment. Not a goal. Not a to-do list. A commitment to how you will show up, regardless of outcome. Regardless of whether anyone notices. Regardless of whether it is easy or hard. Say it plainly. Today I show up with full attention, with honesty, with patience. Whatever happens, I will not be moved from that. And then get up. And go be that person. That is the Stoic morning. Not a checklist. Not a productivity hack. A daily act of becoming who you said you would be. You came here because something in your morning felt off. Too reactive. Too rushed. Too much noise before there was any signal. The Stoics walked this exact path, under pressure we can barely imagine, and they found the same answer every time. Prepare the mind before the world can disorder it. Choose your character before circumstance chooses it for you. Start with one practice from today's video. Just one. Tomorrow morning, before the phone. Before the news. Before anything. 2 minutes of preparation, one question, one commitment. Build from there. If you want to go deeper, the next video on this channel will show you exactly what the Stoics practiced in the evenings to close the loop on everything you built in the morning. That video is next. Watch it now. And if this reached you, if something here landed, subscribe to The Unshakeable. This community is built for people who want to live with intention in a world designed to pull them off course. We are glad you are here.